Hi, Luvkesh. Good
Hi,
evening.
Kohin. What's up?
All well, all well. Just getting ready for the weekend. I can see you already ready for the weekend. Great, great. I was waiting for you there, and then I got
Okay.
to know that. So I said, let me come back where you are. Superb, great, great, great. I think let's wait for another minute, and then probably we can start.
Sure thing.
So
So, how are
how's
things?
how things are good. They started moving now. We've had a couple of projects that have been stalled because of this the entire pandemic situation. So uh, hoping for the best, but it's moving. It's moving. Markets are opening up for us as well. So it's a good space to be in. You know. And again, I told you it's like the Big Bang Theory. Everyone wants to now be a part of the crowd. So yes, but it's a good space to be in. Good
Absolutely.
competition, good space. So great. I think things are moving on for you as well.
Absolutely. So, things are absolutely on fire for us right now.
Great. I think we're going to cover a lot during this entire session. So great.
Yeah,
I think let's start. So
sure.
great. Good evening, everyone. We'll wait for more people to join, but let's start uh, since it's already time.
Sure.
So I'm very delighted to actually introduce a very, very special client, a friend, a very intelligent entrepreneur I've had a chance to interact with for the past 1 2 years now. Over the past years, he's come up with a very innovative travel tech platform called Airtrip. And fortunately for me, I had the opportunity to understand the entire thought behind this, the entire journey with Lavkesh. So, welcome, Lavkesh. Glad to have you on board.
Hi, Kohin.
We've been wanting to do this for a very long time, and I said it's time. Let's
Absolutely.
let's let's get into action. Because I know Airtrip is also into action, and DGenius Solutions is also into action now. So great. Being from the digital stream, Sneha and myself, we keep having these conversations, and when we keep having a lot of pitches, what we do is, we like to brainstorm about other industries in par with, how would they function when it comes to digital? Have they accepted, digital marketing per se? So, for us, the entire change that happened in terms of a digital agency is that a lot of us saw the entire shift into hybrid style or a remote style of working, which we were never used to. Because agency life is, it's never 9 to 5. It's always 12 to 12. So we're
24/7.
always working, we're always working round the clock. But yes, we did see that shift. We had to change. We had to evolve. We had to put systems into place in terms of how operations is done, how do you interact with the client, how do you look at getting the deliverables on time, and we evolved, and we actually, for us also as an agency, we would probably never look out of Mumbai as a zone to hire people, which we
Absolutely.
did. uh, and for us, we've actually gone ahead and hired people out of Mumbai who are really, really good. We've hired, women who probably, we would have never seen, but they are intelligent. They want to work, and they are on board, and they're doing a brilliant job. Um, so, we were very, very, very curious to know how has, and especially for airline, because, it is the travel industry. I mean, everyone wants to travel. They're traveling, you know, 24/7. There are people who are traveling to and fro, and you basically are the center of this entire transport network or transport system, I may say. So, we were very, very interested to know how Airtrip has evolved pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, and hence we thought, let's have this conversation.
Absolutely.
How
Yeah.
are we, how I know you're a tech, uh, you know, uh, uh, you're a technology first kind of an agency wherein, sorry, a company, wherein you put digital marketing. You really put digital marketing first because obviously you need to reach out to the audiences.
Absolutely.
So, it'll be great. We would love our audiences to know more about that. So there are a few set of questions that, that we're going to ask you a very casual conversation because, whenever you and me have a conversation, it's casual, but then at the same time, I would say it's very edutainment. That is a word that I really like, when I am speaking to my clients. So great. I would really love to know, what was the motivation behind Airtrip? I know about it. I definitely know, but I would want the people who are listening in to know why Airtrip. What was the motivation behind it?
So see, the biggest challenge that we saw, the biggest problem that we wanted to solve was that not today also not everyone can book their own travel, right? So like if you look at every family, there's only one person who does the entire travel booking in that particular family, right? But that's not the case with certain other things that are digital today, right? If you look at the food industry, everybody is ordering on Swiggy, Zomato. If you look at the cab
Yeah,
industry, everybody is booking their own cabs. So we thought, why not address this challenge? So our whole motivation was to make travel really simple because we all love traveling, right? It's the experience that you want to have, what you remember, right? If you look back into your life 10, 15 years back or even further ahead, what you'll remember most is the moments you've had when you were traveling, right? So it's obviously the most cherishable set of experiences that you have in your lifetime, but it's so sorry to see that people are not being able to do this by themselves. So we wanted to make
true.
it extremely simple, and that's the simple reason why we started Airtrip, right? So that to give the accessibility to everyone, to be able to book their own travel. And if you look at the app also that we've put together, I think it's done really well because it's AI supported, it's voice supported. So what we've been able to do is cut down the amount of effort and time that it takes to book your travel, and cut it down into what
I think it's 7 clicks, if I'm
70%.
not sure, right? Seven
Yeah,
seven
yeah,
clicks,
right,
Luvkesh?
right, absolutely.
Super, super. And I know for a fact that there's a lot of I know you have done a lot of research on this at the entire user journey. Keeping in mind the entire digital journey that a user comes on board and how does that person interact on the platform as well. So yes, I know for a fact it's 7 clicks. So I just wanted to confirm whether it has gone down 5 clicks or it's still 7 clicks.
Yeah, so it's not just the number of clicks that get reduced. It's also the overall amount of effort, because if you see the amount of effort that you have to put in to locate what is the best flight combination or hotel option possible, or best for you. I mean, we've really cut it down. Yeah, so staggering 95% of people choose from the first two or three options that we put up on the website.
Absolutely.
So that's
So,
what keeps us even further motivated, to do the best work of our lives, to be able to
superb.
provide those
Superb.
experiences.
Superb, superb. That's brilliant to know, and I'm glad to know that. But any chance of going below 7 clicks?
It is definitely going to happen. I mean, the more we learn about the user, and
Absolutely,
the way tech
absolutely.
is taking us
Yeah,
into the future, what we want to do is adopt those technologies first and be able to
absolutely.
capitalize on them. So
No, no,
I'm sure
absolutely. And
we'll
I know,
reach.
I know
Yeah,
for a fact, I know for a fact that you are going to be. I mean, it is going to eventually happen. So for
absolutely.
sure,
Our future as we envision it is, no clicks at all. You have your smart speakers at home. You can, just voice out what you want and be able to complete the entire journey.
I won't be surprised, Lavkesh, that we'll be using Meta very soon.
Absolutely.
Superb. Great. So, what were the challenges? I mean, I know travel industry, what were the challenges that were faced during the pandemic?
So of course there was this one point of time when everything just shut down, right? But
Yeah,
we have nothing to complain because we weren't all that big at that point of time, right? So to be honest, the pandemic did not hurt us as much as it was in our favor. And I say that for two reasons. One is, of course, we got the opportunity to hire some of the best people, right? And like you said, it opened up a huge horizon of options and possibilities for us, because even we changed our mindset to hire only in Mumbai to then be open to all kinds of opportunities. So today we don't mind hiring people on Mars also. as long as they're good. So that was one shift, which happened. And the other thing is that it got the industry to a level playing field, right? So today,
Right.
everybody is kind of restarting, and it gives everyone the equal amount of opportunity. So we are really excited about the whole post-pandemic prospect.
Sorry,
Kohin, are you
sorry,
there?
sorry. Sorry. Yes, yes,
No
yes.
worries.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. Yes. So yes, you were on restarted. So
Yeah,
please
so
continue.
like I was mentioning, the whole industry kind of restarted from scratch. So that give us the opportunity that we can capitalize on that and be able to make our mark into this industry, into this space. So pandemic has done more good to us than it has done bad. So we take it very, very positively. In fact, the amount of work that we were able to put in during the pandemic was phenomenal, on our tech, on our product. I think we would not have right now. Also, I think the productivities have further gone down post pandemic, because you end up having so many meetings
Yeah.
which you would not
True.
have. So the focus levels have definitely dropped. So can't complain about the pandemic. Yeah.
No, no. I think we're selling the same boat. So it's the same thing for us as well. So that, see, the point is how you look at the positive side. So for
Correct.
us,
Correct.
again, positives were we started in pandemic. With the grace of God, we're doing very, very well. We are growing, and I
That's true.
told, like entrepreneurs like ourselves, we're both growing in the same fashion. Slow growth, but yes, it's there. So we can see that happening as well. Great. How do you feel the industry is reviving? Do you feel it's reviving? Is it in a good space?
Absolutely, it's reviving left, right, and center right now, because the now you're facing the adverse effects of the everything opening up, because the prices are going up. So people who genuinely want to travel, amidst all of the commotion, it's becoming more and more difficult for them, because of the rising prices. There's very limited availability now pan India or even globally,
Mhm.
because people have been waiting, right, to travel. So of course that revenge travel had to come in. And I mean, as and when things are opening up, people are really looking forward to those opportunities. They've been sitting at homes for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
There's a big part of the community who's not traveled during these last couple of years. So yeah, for them, it's a jailbreak. And so we are powering those jailbreak opportunities for them. And for us now, it's all about keeping up with that demand, or
Yeah.
keeping up with those requests that are coming in, trying to
Right.
work those stats out and stuff. So
So a good opportunity. It's a very
absolutely,
good space to be in. It's a very good space
absolutely,
to.
absolutely. I mean, it's only starting to boom. So we are hoping that the peak is going to arrive sometime in June.
Right.
Once everything does settle down even further, and with the absence of any further waves coming in, we are very positive about the prospects in the future.
Perfect, perfect. So, few days ago, there was this article in the paper that said that, travel restrictions are open and, uh, you know, destinations are open, like, and I had this chat with you. So, how are you coping with the changing international travel guidelines? How does it, how does it affect you? How
So
have you been
it's
able to
it's
manage?
very important, because every traveler who's traveling today wants to know. Very first thing is what are the restrictions that will be in place, whether they will be allowed to travel freely or not, what are the things that are open at those destinations, or something which is still shut. And also a big shift in demand as we seeing is that probably 6 months until now, people were open to travel to any destination which is open even with restrictions. But now people
Right.
are wanting to travel to those places which do not have any restrictions in place, right? They want the complete pre-pandemic experience without any tests, or without any RT-PCRs and all of those stuff. So yeah, people are extremely willing to go back to that pre-pandemic experience, and
Yeah.
uh, places which are offering those experiences are doing extremely well.
Great, great. So, as I told you, you're a digital first company. So, how does digital marketing change the face of selling, after the pandemic? I know during the pandemic also there was a lot of content that was put out. So, how do you look? How does digital marketing help you, selling after pandemic as well?
So
So,
I
is it
I
is it
see.
that is it you're going to focus more on that? How does that work?
So see, there are two angles to this. One, of course, the adoptability of the digital platform has gone up. I don't know how many notches during the pandemic, right? Earlier, there were all kinds of different means and modes of you presenting your brand to the audiences, but in today's times, it's only digital, right? The other side of it is that, because everything is digital, there's so much of noise out there, right? That it becomes really difficult for you to be able to position yourself differently amongst all of the others that are there. So I think you need really powerful, good creatives to be able to stand out, and a very well thought out strategy and communication process in place to be able to do that. But
Yeah,
in fact, I should be asking you this question because you are the expert, right? That how does one sustain the whole challenge of digital media today? Because it's non-escapable. You have to be present over there. But how do you make the most of it? How do you come out on top
true.
in this space?
True. So you rightly, Lokesh, you rightly pointed out that there is a lot of clutter. Like for example, if I go to now, everything is Insta first. So you believe in trans media storytelling, wherein every platform has its own voice. So if you go to a Facebook, the TG is completely different. The thought process, the voice is completely different. Brands look at a Facebook for more lead generation. Insta is very visual. It's more brand led. It's more branding, more communication. Again, LinkedIn gets into more networking. YouTube is again very visual videos, and again Google search is very it's very keyword search oriented. uh, whenever we have this kind of a conversation with the client, is what we concentrate on is building an individuality, right? So for example, take Airtrip as a brand has its own individuality, it has its own voice.
Correct.
uh, like us as individuals, if you start treating your brand as an individual and create a voice for that particular brand, automatically it is going to get into the lives of the people, right? I want my users or my engagers to be a friend, right? Why I want them to be a friend? See, in a real life scenario, see what happens is, and what we've seen is, general people live dual lives. Like a friend of mine, if you actually have a conversation with him, he's an introvert. He'll sit in the corner, have his beer until you don't go up and talk to him, and if till he doesn't know you, he'll be the most uninterested person in any conversation that you have. At hindsight, if you look at his content that he puts out on Instagram, it's completely different. If it's like you're living a dual life, right? Now these are the people who you need to speak out to. So they are your friends. There
Absolutely.
are friends who are introverts, there are friends who are extroverts. Similar to this, there are people who will engage with your content differently. You know, so the point is getting into the lives of the people, becoming their friends. You can only do that by having an individuality for your social media pages, and that's where the content comes out. That's where in the kind of templates that we put out comes out. Because remember we had this conversation saying that when we are creating some kind of content for a trip, it has to be identified from the clutter. That is exactly what we try to do. you know so that is breaking the clutter, and good content, engaging content. And I know for a fact that's what Airtrip does. It's brilliant. Even for us being a digital marketing agency, we put out engaging content. We put out a lot of videos. We put out a lot of gifs, carousels. So that's how we keep our followers engaged. So there is no success point as such, but that's how we need to treat
So
the
is
page.
there
It's
is there any tips and tricks that people can use to come out on top in this particular space, or is it continuous learning as an experience that you need to have? What really works over here?
so, you know, I would say every quarter there is a new update on Instagram. There is something new that comes up. So even with social media platforms, they are ever evolving. LinkedIn
Correct.
comes out with something new. They came out with stories, I believe, some time ago. So the point is, they are also looking at
Evolving. Correct.
keeping evolving and keeping their entire clientele or database engaged. Now, tips and tricks, again, I told you it's brilliant content that you need to put out, content that is relatable. Right. So when you talk about, again, I'm talking about you as an industry. When you talk about relatable content, it is all about, like, I think we did moment marketing is something that we look at. Momental marketing is something that wherein you are capturing the moment of the user, right? I mean,
Right.
if I have to get into lives of the people, sentimental content is something that we look at because that is what people want to engage with, right? It's like it
Right.
has to trigger a thought. Tomorrow, if I see a father and son holding hands, on a beach on Father's Day, I will remember my father and I would want to incline with that brand because that conversation is such. So
Correct.
the right kind of content, having the proper hygiene on our social media pages. So I've seen a lot of brands who I connect with. Uh, their highlights are all over the place. They have, I in fact, I consulted a brand who had uh, for one product they had different highlights, and it went on and on and on. That's not the right process because after a period of time, the user is not going to scroll. So
True.
again, what happened is your social media pages have become your corporate profile. It's as simple as that. First, when we had a website, people would go to a website and figure out what's happening. If you look at traditional marketing, it was your brochures, it
Correct.
was your visiting card. Today, everything is online. So there's been a paradigm shift from the entire traditional marketing, keeping the base same. Audience is same. Person wants to engage with you, he will come online and he will engage with you and send you a lead. Similar to a person walking into your office and saying, "This is what I need." So the point is, hygiene is very important for your social media pages because it's your corporate profile. Hygiene in the sense when you are having a bio, have a proper set of bios, have a proper set of highlights that will identify the key USPs of your brand. And then obviously when you talk about your reels, when you talk about your content, whatever you are doing, have it in a sustained, in a standardized communication. It cannot be all over the place. Obviously, beyond that, then you have the right kind of content, right kind of communication, use the right kind of hashtags to reach out to your clientele because it has to reach out to the TG. So
Correct.
your set of TG is obviously following a certain set of hashtags. You cannot talk about fashion when you're talking about a trip unless and until it's a proud sponsor of probably a fashion event. That's wherein you are trying to highlight yourself. But if it's not needed, don't put so many highlights. I mean, that TG is not even going to interact with you.
True.
So that's how it is. There are memes, there are topicals, but that's again a part of it's a part of the content architecture that you have. So this is how we do it. It's the right kind of strategies, the right kind of I believe the right kind of people are very, very important. The right kind of uh, agencies or the marketing agencies that you have, the right kind of path that you need to take. That's very important. Anyone can, start a social media page and, probably be on Canva and create something. But what is the strategy is very, very important. So ideally, these are the concepts that, when we are talking to a client. Beyond that, there are a lot of things. There are calendars that are made. There's content modules, creative modules. But yes,
Like deep
basic is.
science.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's ever evolving, Lovekesh. It's as simple as what you are doing in your industry. It's the same thing with us. New challenges, new learnings every day. But yes, that's how it is. So there's a new update that comes, you start learning, you start evolving and start making use of it for your clients. That's how it is. So yes, that's I would I mean just suggest that to all of the people who are listening out.
Very, very interesting. Yeah. And love to pick your
Great.
brains further on this. So
Please do. We'll have a
We'll
part
cover.
two. I think we let's start having a season and let's have episode two coming soon.
Absolutely.
Superb. Great. For example, there are a lot of people who are obviously, like you said, are planning to start traveling very soon. So, can you give us some tips and tricks of smooth travel plans, cost-effective plans, and I would love to hear it why a trip. I want to hear it. What are those good uh, USPs of Airtrip, and how can we make use of Airtrip as a platform?
Sure. So firstly, I'll start off with the no-brainers, which is, plan as early as possible. Right? That will give you the maximum possibilities or options, right? Because the best places will get sold out, and today they're getting sold out 3, 3, 6 months in advance, right? It's absolutely crazy. So as early as possible, right? You have to book this out. Secondly, it's also important to book through the right channel or partner, right? Because
Absolutely.
often when you're traveling, there are a lot of unpleasant surprises, right, that come across your way, which you should have been told about in advance. But unfortunately, you meet with those incidents. Some of these are pleasant surprises. Some of these are unpleasant surprises. So
Absolutely.
it's important to stay informed, right? And especially about if you are a solo traveler, right? Over there, it's even more important to do that. So we're seeing a big
Absolutely.
uprise in the whole solo traveler
Right.
community. So, but even if you're a family, right, it is that much more important because you're traveling with your family and kids, and you leave your home only once or twice in a year. So it's best to make the most of those. So yeah, choosing the right set of partners is very important. And when it comes to booking through Airtrip, we try to make sure that all of these things are set in place. So very
Absolutely.
recently we've put together the holiday website, right? So wherein we are
Okay.
promoting a lot of holiday experiences. And
Right.
the only message that I have given to my team who is executing all of this is to make sure that whoever is traveling through Airtrip has the best experience of
Absolutely.
traveling through their lives.
Yes.
Choose the best of travel partners to provide all these experiences through. So because people are willing to pay the price for those experiences, even if they are a little bit
Absolutely.
extra, but you cannot compromise on the experience that is provided over there. So that's why it's important. As a tip, I would say, even if it is a little bit more expensive, try to choose the right partner from whom you are booking your travel. And
True.
third thing is to make the most of opportunities in terms of sales and discounts. So every channel partner, like even Airtrip did a couple of sales recently. One was for Republic Day, one was for you know the 14th of Feb, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and we're coming up with something really good for summers also very soon. So it's important to make the most of these limited time
Yeah.
opportunities to plan your holidays and your trips. So
True.
those are the tips. And to make sure that it's smooth, it's very important to stay informed, right? Of course, there are a lot of people who want to reach their destination and then plan the whole thing out. But in today's heavily costed experiences, like extremely costly experiences that you have during travel, it's best that you pre-discover those things, or you uh, you know plan it out in advance so that you can make the most of your time actually experiencing those experiences rather than planning them when you're on that trip. So those
True.
would be the top few tips and tricks that I have for all those who are looking to travel in any time in the near future.
Great. Great. And guys, Airtrip puts out all these codes on their channel, so please follow them so that you can get a lot of discounts. So that Luvkesh has already given you a hint that there are going to be some summer discounts. So we need to start taking a good opportunity of that as well. So great. Um, like I told you, there's a lot of content that goes on. There's a lot of experience-based content that goes out on your pages. So, okay, before that, let me ask you, what have been your marketing learning, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic? How has that entire marketing thought evolved for a trip? What is the learnings?
See, so I mean, very early, we got some really good set of people, who joined our company and our platform. One very important tip that I got early in my career was that, digital marketing can help a great product reach scale very quickly, but it can equally help, a bad product go down that much faster, right?
True, very true.
So I mean, the timing has to be absolutely right. First thing that, you have to promote when you are ready for it, when, whatever you promise is absolutely true to its word. So those
True.
are some of the things that, we be careful about, that, any content that we put out there is true to what it promises and delivers exactly that or better than that. So those are in terms of what to be posted, and in terms of our learnings, we've seen, some of the channels working really well. So Instagram does great for us. Facebook has always been good, but it continues to be one of the most dominant. And of course, Google is the most efficient, you can say that, because you really get the value for what you put into it.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely,
so I think
absolutely.
these are the, top three channels which we look to promote ourselves on,
Right.
and it is quite fruitful. I mean, we have had good experiences. We get to grow our community and, reach out to a lot more people across
True.
the globe, which we would not have. So, I mean, earlier reaching out to people within the country was a challenge, but now it just
Absolutely.
opens up the opportunity wherein, you don't have to be physically present in any country to be able to do business over there. Now it's all completely open. So it's a really good, future opportunity that digital marketing opens for everyone, and that's what we love about it.
Superb, superb. So I know for a fact that you'll have imbibed the entire social media platforms, the entire digital marketing, and that hence I say it's a digital first
Yeah, we are
thought process.
really proud of our creative team, because I remember I met a few competitors whom we were trying to collaborate with, and they said that, more than anything, we really keep our eyes glued to what content Airtrip puts out. uh, Sometimes to ape it, sometimes to, keenly look at, what is it that you guys have been doing. So that itself was a huge morale booster for us, that, if our competitors
True.
are keeping such a close eye on the content that we're putting out, so we must be doing something right. So
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I mean, I know it's very well curated. It's very thought of in terms of the kind of content that you put out. Uh, so yeah, so I mean, summers are coming close. I know there's a lot of content that is going on, a lot of destinations that are put out on on our social platform on Airtrip. Any recommendation for everyone? Which is your favorite summer destination?
So of course, my absolute favorite is Europe, right? You can take me there at any point of time, but for summers it makes even more sense, because it's all flowery, it is all very beautiful, natural, sunny. So some things that you relate, those are the terms you relate to your perfect destination or your perfect holiday. Temperatures are absolutely perfect. It's neither too hot nor too cold. So of course, if you all have the opportunity to travel to Europe, don't miss that out during this summer. But of course, the good news that's coming in is that Southeast Asia is opening up. So
Yeah,
some of them are already open, and then I think by 27th of March, everything is opening up. So we'll have, and historically, India has been keen towards these kind of destinations. So whether it's Thailand or Malaysia or Singapore or Indonesia, right? These four countries are the top most visited countries from India, And these opening up would, of course, give a lot of budget travelers an opportunity to travel abroad. So,
Right.
those are the tips for traveling abroad. And of course, if you want to travel within India, the northern part of the country has really good weather, especially if you're going to hill stations. So, I mean, any hill station that you could, get your hands onto during the summers would be really great. I mean, just getting out of the house itself is such an amazing experience.
True. True. So, Lavkesh, you and me, both of us, you've been through our journey, we've been through your journey as, as a startup, as entrepreneurs. There's a lot of learning there's a lot of learning, there's a lot of effort that gets into doing what we are doing. Uh, any suggestions for existing brands that, I mean, in the same space or not in the same space, people who are looking up to AirTrip or looking up to you in that space? What is what is the motivation or the advice that you will give them?
So one thing is, especially if you're a startup, right? You have to remember that it's not going to be smooth sailing, right? Throughout my career, I've seen so many friends and so many colleagues putting up their own startup, and it all starts with really high levels of motivation and excitement. But along the way, the moment they face a few hurdles, that motivation completely goes away. So you have to find a space in which you are really excited about for the long run, right? And it has to be a space wherein you come in with a never let go attitude, right? So, I mean, even startups which have had bumper starts, right? At some point of time, they're bound to go down, right? Something will not work for
Absolutely.
them. Some decision will go bad, or something will definitely hit as a speed breaker or a hurdle along the way. At that point in time, it's important to overcome that, and only those startups which have a never say die kind of an attitude will come out on top or will survive through the toughest starting periods that they have. So I think Airtrip has done that really well, even during the pandemic. I think when all other travel companies, even the topmost ones, were letting go of people left, right, and center. Airtrip stuck on to its family and
You're
built
right.
that really strong, principally strong, loyal team that we're bearing the fruits of today. So I
Right.
think those are the important most pointers for startups, and uh, I think the most important one is to have a good dad, who will invest in your venture.
Great, great. That's good to hear. No, but I honestly, again, the reason I'm asking this question is that there were two different waves that we went through, and when we thought it's again the second wave, we thought which is obviously was the worst one because there was some revive in terms of the entire, all the activities, I would say. And then again, it stopped and it was stalled for a very long time. And, and I would say people who have survived this kind of a situation come out to be more stronger. I know
Absolutely.
it happened with you because, we were having this conversation, and even with us, there were times wherein we felt कि अभी कल क्या होने वाला है, because we had projects that were like almost done. Like they were like we had agreements that were signed.
Right.
Then just a complete stop, and then we're trying to figure out abhi kya hoga. So, but nevertheless, again, learnings again, you have to be very headstrong. Because remember, it's like a child. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
that's
Absolutely.
it's like your own kid. If your kid is going to make mistakes, you are going to tell him or her that is wrong, and then you grow with the entire kid. So that's how we take the genius solutions, and I know you take a trip in the same zone, and it is that growth. You need to be headstrong because that's how the evolution happens. So I just needed to add that. Great. I think we've done with a lot of we shared a lot of thoughts. What I would like to do is, I would like to reach out to the audiences and have some, let them ask us few questions if someone would like to do that.
Absolutely, would love to answer that. And while those questions come in, very quickly, I would like to know a little bit about your future plans and what is it that you guys have in store that we should look forward to.
So, besides DGNS Solutions, obviously DGNS Solutions, we are a creative digital marketing agency, creative first. Uh, you know, we are planning, we already have a lot of brands with us on board. I'm not going to name them, you know most of them. But yes, we're working with legacy brands. We're working with the top five uh, companies in India, uh, large companies. We're also working with startups. When we guide them, it's more like an investment from our side as well, wherein we see the growth, and then obviously we want to grow with a lot of entrepreneurs. There is a lot of what happens is with entrepreneurs. What we believe is that they get into that entire freelance mode, and unfortunately for them, it goes wrong.
Right.
That's wherein we come on board. We help them, guide them, keeping our margins not very very high, but in the thought process that we want to see them grow as well as grow with them. That's what we are trying to do, you know. Besides that, we also have started the unconventionals, which is in specific to motivational stories. So like yourself, we have a conversation with you, and how have you achieved a lot of things unconventionally in your life, like probably a solution or your goal unconventionally. Uh, it's a different thought process. It's very positive. It's very motivational because what we believe is because of the entire pandemic situation, there's been a lot of negativity in people. There's
True.
there's been a lot of demotivation in people. So by unconventional, we want to get the motivation back into people and want to see them grow. That's what we want to do. So these are these two branched out uh, independent IPs that we've created. One again, it's more positivity. The other one is, and obviously at a later stage, then we are going to be combining both of them in terms of getting in more visibility for a lot of our brands. So this is, as of now, this is the story. I'm hoping there's lots more to come as we keep evolving. So
Sure, sure.
that's
Absolutely.
about us. So great. Guys, any questions? Any queries?
I think we have one question. Is the best way to advertise a small business at an affordable price?
See, it all depends on your goal, right? If a business comes to us and tells us that we want to probably look at only search, then obviously it is very SEO specific that we look at what is the kind of budgets that you want to spend. We then advise them on that front. It all depends on your goal. It could be starting just with an Instagram and then probably recreating the entire content onto Facebook, or just look at search-based ads or SEO specific ads, SEO led services. So it all depends. It all depends on the kind of business and monies that you have on board.
Great, great. So thanks, Arzu, for asking that question. We have another question from Deepak, which is how to grow on Instagram organically.
Uh, Again, please look at Airtrip space. It's a good it's a you can see a lot of organic content that comes out. Have do connect with the users, engage with the users, reply back to the users. That is something that a lot of brands do not do. uh, do that, connect with them, because it's like someone coming into your house, and it's like a guest comes into your house and you're not even offering him something. So connect with the users, have the right kind of hashtags, voice out your opinions in the right way, not obviously not hurting people's sentiments. That is something that you need to do. You know, yeah,
Great.
great. I think should we close, Lavkesh?
Yeah, I think it was a really good session. Yeah, it was so much fun interacting with you.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do episode 2.
Absolutely.
Great, yeah. Lavkesh,
Great,
thank you
great,
so
great.
much for your time. It is always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to speak to you and share these thoughts.
Sure.
Okay.
You want to take this one? This is a good question.
How would you motivate people who are
So
still afraid of traveling? That's your it's your travel due to COVID situation. I think you're the best person to
so
speak
I
on.
think Rahul, the good thing is that we are at the end of the endemic, right? Wherein we're seeing the numbers going down quite tremendously in terms of the cases and all. Of course, we've had some news about China coming in today.
Yeah,
Hopefully, that does not spread and it stays where it is, or it goes down exactly from where it is. But I think the motivation for travel will come in automatically for people who have been, waiting to travel since a really long time. I think it's a really safe time to travel right now. And best thing, like I mentioned before, also is to get in touch with your travel partners and ask them those questions and be convinced yourself about what are the best places that you could go to, which suit the safety standards that you would have for your personal self, and on that
true,
basis take a call.
true, superb. So I have someone who says, Lavkesh, when can DGS team get trips for what is it? Did I read it right? Free trips for a trip. So I
Yeah,
don't think I don't think Lavkesh is going to answer that. He's going to end it as soon as possible.
we'll
No
keep that
free
for
trip,
round
guys.
two.
Huh?
We'll keep that
Again, it's
for
not free
episode
trip.
2.
It's air trip. Jammy yummy. What was that? Jammy yummy mummy. It's air trip. It's not free trip. Superb, Lavkesh.
Cool.
Thank you. I think it was great. Hopefully we can do another session, a different session with a more specific topic in mind, and how
Surely.
we can grow on that as well. So great. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank
Lavkesh.
you so much.
Always, and thank you everyone for coming and hearing us. I hope it has been helpful for yours for everyone. Uh, Travel as well as startups and all business owners, and please follow either of us, see the content, good destinations to go to, good digital marketing learnings to know on. So great, thank you so much, thank you everyone,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much,
guys.
bye Lokesh, thank you so much,
Thanks. Bye bye.
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 Bye.